Greetings, mighty companions. Anna Kujawa here, and this is Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles with Anna Kujawa. And we are going to study from A Course in Miracles today. So, I already did the random number generator prayer to find which section in A Course in Miracles we're going to do. I put in the 3 books of the Course, did the prayer, and it came up with the teacher's manual, so that's what we're going to do. But first, for a few minutes, I want us to just join in connecting with Spirit, just allowing our minds to come out of the past, come out of the future, and just rest within Spirit within us for a few minutes, just to allow our minds to rest and to open. So, go ahead and close your eyes and take a breath. And breathe in the present moment. Allow your mind to come back home to the beautiful, powerful present moment where everything awaits you. Just breathe in the power and the presence of the present moment. Tell your mind that it's safe to come back home to the right now and rest and open to all the good that surrounds you, just waiting for you. Feel how good it feels to let your mind just rest in the now. Tell your mind, in this perfect, powerful, precious moment, I need do nothing but be and receive, accepting what is so. And what is so is that life and love has given you everything. You have everything, now and forever. So just take a moment and breathe that fact in. Let yourself rest in reality. In reality, you need do nothing, because everything's already done. You are already complete and healed and whole. You already have everything in the present moment, which is eternal. Just feel how good it feels to just be present. In the present moment, you can feel the wholly satisfying nature of reality. The nature of reality is that it is wholly satisfying. So let's take a moment and feel that. Let it be. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful. Wonderful. Tricia says, I am here. Wonderful. That's what the whole meditation was about. Are you here? Are you here or are you somewhere else? Where are you? You may think you're somewhere else, but you're really just here. So, how about we just do something weird and actually be here where we are and see what happens. All right, guys. So, I already did the never random number generator prayer beforehand, and I put in the 3 books of the course into the random number generator, and it pulled up the teacher's manual, which is the 3rd book of the course. And this section, the question that it pulled up is question number 9. Are changes required in the life situation of God's teachers? Jerry says, I am somewhere else. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Tricia. Lovely to see you guys. So we're going to be in the teacher's manual, question number 9. Are changes required in our lives? Okay. So are changes required in the life situation of those who have decided they want to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem? Are you somebody who has realized that you really just want to be helpful in life? You want to be helpful to others, help others to have more peace, more joy, more aliveness, more safety, more security. If you are somebody who has decided that, then indeed you are one of God's teachers. The Course in Miracles in the teacher's manual defines a teacher of God as someone who for one moment saw somebody else's interests as not separate from their own interests. So, and I'm guessing if you are watching this and you're a student of A Course in Miracles, and even if you're not, I'm guessing that you have had a moment like that where you saw somebody else's interests as not separate from your own, where you realized their peace and my peace are one. That's why we help people. That's why we're kind and helpful to others, is because we realize that as we help others to have peace and safety, we ourselves experience peace and safety. And A Course in Miracles teaches us that if you want to have a sense of peace and a sense of safety and a sense of worth that the world cannot destroy, the only way to have that is to help other people to have that. So of course, that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. That's one of the fundamental teachings of A Course in Miracles, is that if you want peace and happiness, the only way to have that, or to realize you already have that, is to help other people to realize that they have it. And so if you are somebody who has experienced one moment in your life where you saw somebody else's interests as not separate from your own, and you were helpful, then you have become one of love's teachers. Okay, so now, once you have become a helper in the world, once you have become a love teacher in the world, according to this, changes must occur. So as soon as you go, I want to be helpful, that's what I want to be, helpful to others, that's what I want to be in life, I just want to be helpful. The moment that you make that decision and become a teacher of love, then automatically changes are going to begin to happen. Okay? And this section is going to talk about the changes that happen, how they happen, where they happen, and so that you can have more peace and you can be more relaxed as changes are happening. Now, maybe you're somebody who is experiencing a lot of changes in your life right now. If you are somebody who is experiencing a lot of changes right now in your life, there's a very good chance that these are required changes to accommodate your new role in the world as a helper, as a teacher of love. Okay? So, and the Course in Miracles tells us in the teacher's manual that the attitude or the idea to help us navigate the changes that must occur once we change our minds about what we want. Once you change your mind about what you want, then you have changed your mind about everything, and changes will then be required in your life to match and to fit and to facilitate your new goal. So once you've decided on a new goal, I just want to be helpful in life. I just want to be helpful because it feels good. It helps me. When I help others, it helps me. Now, as soon as you change your mind, now there are changes that are required in your life to facilitate and support your new goal. Okay? And this can be in your life in general, or let's say it's in a relationship or a situation. So you could be in a relationship or a situation and you've decided there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to do this relationship or to do this situation that I'm in, because I can't do it the way I've been doing it because it hurts. And so not only is this like a meta change, but it's also on the micro scale. So it's on a macro scale and on a micro scale. So if you're in a relationship or a situation and you've said, I've got to change my mind about what this situation or relationship is for, or what I want to come of it, there's got to be a better way to do this. As soon as you've changed your mind about the purpose and the direction and what you want to come of it, now there are changes that are required in this situation and in this relationship. Okay? We're going to hear about what attitude to take, that these changes, that we can move with these changes gracefully and abundantly and lovingly and joyously. Imagine that you could go through these changes lovingly, gracefully, abundantly. Imagine that. So we're going to hear how to do that. So the question, Teacher's Manual, question number 9, are changes required in the life situations of love's teachers? And it says this: changes are required in the minds of God's teachers. Okay, say that again. Changes are required where? In the minds of love's teachers. And it says, now, this change of mind in a teacher of love, you and me, may or may not involve changes in the external situation. Okay? So the first thing that has to happen is the change of mind in us about a situation, about a relationship, about our role in the world as a human being. Okay? It says, and this change of mind that's required first in our minds may or may not involve external changes. So maybe your life will need to change to fit your new goal, your new curriculum, your new direction. Maybe not. Depends on how much your life was already in accordance with your goal, your new goal. If your life or this relationship or this situation was completely out of accord with your new purpose, your new goal, then there's a good chance that after you've changed your mind, that external changes will need to occur in your life overall, or this relationship or this situation. Great. So be thinking of anywhere in your life right now where there's a lot of changes going on. All right. Or a relationship or situation where you've reached your tolerance for pain. You've reached your tolerance for pain. I can't take it anymore. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. Okay? Whatever situation or relationship that is a situation where first there must be a change of mind about what your purpose is and what you want, and then external changes in your life must occur according to how much your life was in or out of accord with your new goal. All right. So then it says, so as these changes are occurring, here's one thing, the first thing that it wants you to remember. What it wants you to remember is this, that no one is where they are by accident, which means chance plays no part in love's plan for you. All right. So remember that when these changes are occurring, and also remember that whatever situation that you're in, remember that you're not in this situation or relationship by accident or chance. Okay? It didn't happen by accident or chance. This wasn't done to you. This wasn't just your fate. Chance plays no part in love's plan for you at all. So if there are changes occurring, remember these changes have nothing to do with accident or chance. And where you're at right now has nothing to do with accident or chance. All right. So then it says, it is most unlikely that changes in your attitude within your current situation would not be the first step in the newly made Teacher of Love's training. So it's telling us here that once you have decided that you want to be a teacher of love, be helpful to humanity, helpful to others, as soon as you do that, the first thing that needs to happen is just a change in your attitude. That's the first step, usually. The first step in the newly made Teacher of Love's training. Okay. I also hear in there that as soon as you say, I want to be a teacher of love, I want to be helpful here in humanity, then as soon as that happens, the first thing that happens is a change in your attitude, and the next thing happened is now you are in the Teacher of Love training program. It's just like in the military, you sign up, I want to serve in the military, okay, great, and then next thing you do is training, basic training, okay? So as soon as you say yes, as soon as you make that one decision where you've seen somebody else's interest as not separate from your own, you are now in a training program. The training begins. All right, let's hear about this new training program. Okay. Beautiful. So first, once you've become a teacher of love by your own choice and your own decision, then all of a sudden changes in your attitude begin to happen as the first step in your training. Anybody recognize that they are in a love teacher training program? You can tell that you're in a training program if there's a lot of changes going on. If there's a lot of changes going on in your life, then it must have occurred that you made some new decision about what you wanted in your relationships, in this situation, or just in life. And as soon as you made that change of mind, now you are in a training program. Beautiful. All right, now it says, there is, however, no set pattern in this training program of the Teachers of Love. There is no set pattern. Why? Because training is always highly individualized. All right, good to know about this training program. So if you're going through a lot of changes right now, just tell yourself, I may be in a training program. Now, and it says, in this training program, the Teacher of Love training program, there's no set pattern, which means there's not just one way to go through that training program. And that how you go through that training program is highly individualized. So just because this person, their training program looks like this or goes like that, doesn't mean that that's the way yours is going to be that way. Beautiful. It says, for instance, there are those who are called upon to change their life situation almost immediately in their Teacher of Love training program. But the folks who are called upon to change their life situation almost immediately are generally special cases. Why? Because by far the majority of love teachers are given a slowly evolving training program. Okay? And that's, what does it say? That is generally, that's the majority. The majority of love teachers are given a slowly evolving training program, even though there are some teachers of love that are called upon to change their life situation almost immediately. Okay? So, beautiful. And Bridget says, I flunked today. I had some dental work done this past weekend and was irritated as hell at work. The staff tested my patience today. LOL. Yes, I was in training. I was in training today. LOL. Exactly.
Overtime.
Yes, you were in overtime training today. Beautiful, Bridget. Exactly. You know, so it's like when you...
Well, now you're in the hot tub after the training.
Exactly. And now, Bridget, Greg says, now, Bridget, you're in the hot tub after your day of training, and even though, you know, it was trying, and you think you flunked, you still get to, you know, enjoy that at least you changed your direction and are now being trained to be a teacher of love on earth at this time. And there's no purpose on earth that is more needed, more valuable than to say, I am willing to stand up and demonstrate love. There's no greater purpose. There's no job or purpose that has more value. There's no purpose or job that is more needed on earth at this time than the people who stand up and say, even though I don't know how to do it, I want to be a demonstrator of love. I want to be helpful to people on earth. I want to be helpful to the people in my life, not harmful. Okay? So, you know, it used to be that our purpose wasn't just to be helpful. It used to be that our purpose was to get something, to get somewhere, or to get somebody, or to get power, fame, money, and physical pleasure. It wasn't always the case that our heart's desire was just to be helpful to others, to help others have peace and joy, right? It wasn't always the case. Remember those days when your purpose was not just to be helpful, your purpose was to get somewhere or get somebody or get something or be somebody or be something. Remember those days? So in the moment that you say, I just want to be truly helpful, to others and to mankind. That's really what I really want. In that moment, you literally become a teacher of God, a teacher of love, and you immediately enter the Teacher of Love training program, where now you've decided to become a teacher of love, and now you get trained as to how to be that. So it's interesting. First you decide you want to be a teacher of love, then you get your training. Okay? It's not like, oh, first I know how to give love perfectly and I'm a great teacher of love, and then I get accepted into the training program. Here, first you make the decision, I want to learn how to be helpful and loving to others, and then you learn how to be helpful, how to be loving to others. Okay? So to think that you gotta be a perfect demonstrator of love before you become a teacher of love is backwards. Okay? Course in Miracles says first you make the decision, you change your mind about what you want, and then you learn how to become what you've decided that you want it to be. So first you make the decision to become it, then you learn what that means. So if you, like Bridget, realize that, hey, you realize that you don't know how to demonstrate love perfectly and consistently all the time, then great. You wouldn't need a training program, you wouldn't need a Course in Miracles if you already knew how to be a perfect, which means totally consistent, demonstration of love all the time. So don't despair and don't judge yourself for not being a perfect demonstrator of love all the time. Okay? Of course you're not perfect and consistent all the time, or else you wouldn't need a Course in Miracles. And so, beautiful. So if you're here, then you are learning how to become a more consistent demonstrator of love. Beautiful. So it says, some teachers of love are called upon to change their life situation almost immediately after deciding they want to be a teacher of love. But these are generally special cases. By far, the majority are given a slowly evolving training program in which as many previous perceptual mistakes as possible are corrected. Okay, so hold on 1 second, you guys. I gotta talk to my manager. Yes. And also close the windows. Ooh, it's so hot in here. My goodness. All right. Okay, gotta cool it down. Getting hot. Talking truth tonight. It's a hot night here in upstate New York at the beach. It's a hot night. All right. It's so funny because last week, Greg and I were up in Evergreen on the mountaintop in front of a fireplace. That's the difference between Colorado in the summertime and New York. All right. So, and sorry for the noise in the background. I know it's a little noisy. So, okay, so here we go. So by far, the majority of teachers of love are given a slowly evolving training program. What kind of training program? What kind of training program is the slowly evolving training program? Well, it's a training program in which as many previous perceptual mistakes as possible are corrected. Oh, that's the training program. And then it says, and what kind of previous perceptual mistakes are we talking about that's being corrected in this training program that we are in now? Okay. Well, relationship perceptual mistakes, as many relationship mistakes in particular must be properly perceived. Okay? And how is it that in this training program, relationships in particular must be properly perceived? How is it that as many what does it say? Previous perceptual mistakes as possible are corrected, particularly the relationship ones. How is it that they're corrected? Well, all dark cornerstones of unforgiveness need to be removed. That's what kind of training program it is. First you decide, I just want to be helpful. I just want to help other people instead of trying to get something from other people. I just want to be helpful. Alrighty, here comes your training program where as many previous perceptual mistakes relative to relationships need to be corrected, which means all dark cornerstones of unforgiveness removed. So that's what kind of training program it is. All dark cornerstones of unforgiveness are being removed. So why am I going through these changes? Why am I going through these changes? What is happening in my life? What is happening? What does it all mean? You are going through a training program to become more loving, to have a life that reflects your new purpose, to be only truly helpful. And all the dark cornerstones of unforgiveness, all those old grievances are being removed. So that's why all these old patterns are being triggered. Recognize that. Why is it that this old pattern is being triggered again? It's not just being triggered here, it's being triggered there, it's being triggered there. What is going on right now? Oh, all of my old dark cornerstones of unforgiveness, all my old grievances, they are being removed. So you are experiencing a grievance excavation and removal phase of your training program. That's what's going on. Now, does it all make sense now? Oh, that's why that old grievance is triggered. That's why that old pattern, that old pain again. That's why it's all coming up at this time. I get it. Okay? In the training program I'm in, targets all of my old grievances, which it calls my dark cornerstones of unforgiveness. It's targeting them. The training program is searching them out and bringing them up to awareness so that I can look at all those mistakes in my past where I thought that it was a better idea to give hate instead of love. That's what a grievance is. It's a decision that hate would be better. Hate would give me what I want, instead of forgiveness would give me what I want. Right? And it says, and the reason that all your dark cornerstones of unforgiveness have got to be found and removed is because if they weren't, the old grievance thought system would still have a basis for return. That's why all the hate's got to be rooted out. All the grievances have to be rooted out. So the training program of A Course in Miracles, the training program that immediately began for you when you decided you wanted to be truly helpful instead of being just a getter in life, that is a training program that is going to be, one of the things is going to be correcting your previous perceptual mistakes. So, false concepts, false beliefs, false memories need to be corrected. And also, all of your old grievances that you've been holding on to, they gotta be removed. Okay? That's the training program. And the reason they all gotta be removed is because if your old grievances and your old belief system isn't removed, then your old thought system still has a basis for return. And what was the old thought system? The old thought system was hate will get me what I want and not love, and that old grievances will make me feel safe, right? Attack can get me what I want. The old belief system was I'm here to get, something. I'm here to get more. I'm here to get more power, fame, money, and physical pleasure. I'm here to get something. I'm here to get power, fame, money, and physical pleasure. I'm here to get some love for myself. Okay? Remember those old days? Okay. That's the old belief system where you're like, all right, I'm ambitious. What can I get? What can I get from the world? What can I get from life? Go get it. Go take it. Right? That's the old belief system. But as soon as you decide, I just want to give, I have decided I only want to be truly helpful, I'm only here to be truly helpful, then, okay, now you have a completely new purpose for your life. Okay? Now, whatever elements of your life are in opposition to your new goal, those are the places in your life that changes have to occur. Okay? Now, for some people, when they change their purpose, their life has to change immediately. But for most people, after you've changed your global purpose in life, you are given a slowly evolving training program where as many of your false beliefs that were part of your old belief system are brought to awareness to be corrected, in particular your relationship grievances. Okay? Because you can't accept a new thought system and a new life based on a new purpose if you still got the old belief system of grievances and attack going. Makes sense? Beautiful. Bridget says, chemicalization process equals dark cornerstone triggers. Very good. Very good. This to me is very helpful because it helps us to understand the nature of the changes that are occurring. And when you understand the changes that are occurring and you see why they're occurring and you see that they're good, they're helpful, now you're going to stop resisting the changes and fighting the changes and trying to delay the changes. Okay? You don't fear the changes. In the teacher's manual, in the section called the development of trust, it says that when the teacher of love realizes that all the changes are helpful, then they move on to the next set of lessons. And I love that. I always heard, okay, if you want to, learn the lessons and move through these changes, learn whatever you're supposed to learn them sooner than later, and learn them gracefully and move on to whatever's next, the best way to do that is to say to the changes, all these changes are helpful, even if I don't know how or why. All these changes are helpful. So when you realize what the changes are for and why they're happening, then you can see that they're helpful. But until you can recognize that all these changes are helpful, you could still say, all these changes are helpful, even if I don't see how. Because you're still telling yourself the truth about the situation, even if you don't understand how that could be true. So whatever changes you got going on in your life, try something different. Instead of fighting against them or trying to delay the change or attacking it or feeling guilty about it or judging it, say to yourself, this change is helpful even if I don't understand how. And then see what happens. Beautiful. Okay, paragraph 2. As a teacher of love advances in their training, the teacher learns one lesson with increasing thoroughness. Okay? And that lesson that you learn with increasing thoroughness in your Teacher of Love training program is you do not make your own decisions. You make no decisions by yourself. Okay, well, what do I do instead? I only know how to make decisions by myself. If I'm not going to make decisions by myself, I'm going to make my own decisions, then what am I going to do instead? Well, you're going to ask your teacher for your teacher's answer. And it is your teacher's answer that you follow as your guide for action. Aha, okay. You hear the training program? So the first thing that we heard in the training program is that as many as your past, previous perceptual mistakes got to be corrected, in particular your relationship mistakes, your grievances have got to be rooted out and brought to the light. And then the next thing that's going on in your Teacher of Love training program is that you learn increasingly, which means you're going to learn over and 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 over again. You're going to learn that you don't make your own decisions, you don't decide things by yourself, and instead you ask your teacher for your teacher's answer, and it's your teacher's answer that you follow as your guide for action. So, what should I do, love? What should I do, higher self? What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? And to whom? Okay. And then we use that as our guide for action. Now, that would be very different, wouldn't it? I mean, is that how you do your life right now? Okay. So this is a very different way of living. It's a totally different way of living in the world. It's a totally different guide for action.
We get upset and we react, not ask. We don't ask, we react.
That's exactly right. As Greg said, the way we do it is we react. So first we react. Something happens and then we don't ask. What does this mean, teacher? What would you have me do, teacher of love? We don't ask. We just react. Okay? And the results of that way of living speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So the proof is in the pudding there as to which one is best.
And
all right.
That's why it begins in changing the mind.
Exactly. That's right. That's why it begins with the changing of your mind or a change in your attitude.
Because
right?
the first thought is to react.
Because the first thought is to react. Exactly. Beautiful. So you hear the training program, okay? You hear he's laying out the training program that you've got to go through, because for your life to finally be a match for your life to finally be an expression of your new purpose, your new goal, there got to be some changes that occur in your life, right? But all these changes begin with a change in attitude and a change of purpose. And what's the change of purpose? The change in purpose is I want to be truly helpful instead of I'm here to see what all I can get before I die. Okay? So that's the change of purpose that starts with you. So really, that's how it goes. I change my purpose of what I want to have and be in life, and now Spirit is going to take me through a training program so that everything in my life now reflects my new purpose, instead of my life still going along with the old belief system of getting something for myself. Okay? So, are you in a training program right now? Do you recognize that you're in a training program? Are you experiencing a lot of changes in your life that you don't understand, that feel confusing, that you notice that you're reacting to? Okay? If so, then congratulations, you are officially in the training program for a teacher of love. So good job. You know, if you're in a state of confusion, congratulations. That's a very high state. You know, confusion means that you have at least let go of your old belief system. Even though you haven't fully embodied or accepted the new belief system based on giving, at least you have let go of the old belief system. So that's what confusion means. I've let go of the old belief system, but I haven't yet fully accepted the new belief system. So I'm in the middle ground where I'm very confused. And it is telling us here exactly what to do during this time of confusion, during this time of changes. It's telling us exactly what to do to allow this change of life, this change of purpose to be activated. And that is, don't make any decisions by yourself. That means when action seems to be called for, when it seems that something needs to be done, don't react. Don't decide first what to do and then ask later. Before you do anything, before you decide anything, before you decide this is what that means or this is what I should do, ask your teacher, ask your higher self for its guidance, and then follow its guide for action. It says, ask your teacher for your teacher's answer. Teacher, what's the answer here? Love, higher self, Holy Spirit, whatever name you have, for that higher intelligence, that divine intelligence that lives within you. Ask it for its answer, and then follow its guide for action. This is the way to navigate this strange terrain. This is the way to navigate these changes, this very new and strange terrain, such that you very gracefully and quickly move through these changes. Okay? These changes don't have to take forever. You know, the changes that seem to be taking forever are the changes that we're resisting, fighting against, delaying, putting off. I don't want to learn that lesson. I don't want to learn that lesson, right? And so, so when in doubt, during this time of great change, tell yourself all these changes are helpful, and then ask your teacher for your teacher's answer, and then follow that as your guide for action. Now, this may seem very difficult to do. Yes, of course, it seems difficult to do because it's the opposite of the way we have been doing life. Okay? We've been doing life the hard way. We've been doing life the struggle way, where we decide what everything means and we decide what we should do according to what we decide it means and what should happen. Okay? We've been deciding by ourselves, we who do not know, okay? We who didn't even have the purpose of being helpful in life. We've been doing it the hard way and deciding by ourselves what it all means and what we should do, and then doing that. Okay? That's the hard way. Okay? And why is that the hard way? Because your reactions and your decisions and your actions to everything are going to be inappropriate, not appropriate for what's really going on. You know, this changes is really helpful. This is a good things that's going on. This is some of your old grievance belief system being brought to your attention so that you can choose a better way. That's good. That's good. But because we are deciding everything by ourselves based on our past, now we're reacting with attack. We're reacting with grievances to what is going on. This is bad. This has got to change. And then trying to control the situation to make it change. That's the way we've been doing it. That's the hard way. That's the struggle way, where changes are slow. But we want we want to allow these changes to happen more quickly. We don't want these changes to take forever. You know, I want to learn how to have a more abundant, loving, joyous, free, safe life faster. I want to learn to have that sooner than later. I don't know about you, but I want to learn faster. I want to be a fast learner. I want to be a happy learner. I want to be a fast learner. Okay, you know, these lessons that you're going through, you could get them like this. Get the lesson and the miracles and the abundance and the joy that's right behind it. Okay? You can get it now. Okay? If you're not going to be deciding what the changes mean yourself, right? And then deciding what to do. Now, this process of not making decisions by yourself, asking your loving teacher for its answer, and then following love's guidance for action, this becomes easier and easier as you learn to give up your own judgment. That's what enables you to learn faster. You can do this new program faster as you learn to give up your own judgment. I'm learning to give up my own judgment. My own judgment is me making my own decisions by myself. What this means, what I should do, who needs to change for me to be happy. Those are my judgments. Right? Now, he says, the giving up of judgment, comma, the obvious prerequisite for hearing love's voice is usually a fairly slow process. Not because it's a difficult process, but because this process of giving up judgment is apt to be perceived as personally insulting. It's personally insulting. The world's training is directed towards achieving a goal in direct opposition to that of our curriculum. For instance, the world trains for reliance on one's judgment as the criteria for maturity and strength. But this curriculum is, what is this? This curriculum, our curriculum, trains for the relinquishment of judgment as the necessary condition for happiness. Okay, so I see, very interesting. So we're talking about the training program of giving up our own judgment. That's the other thing that this training program that we're in is targeting. Okay? So it's a training program that is teaching you, training you how to give up your own judgment. Wow. But wait a minute, I've been learning all my life how to have good judgment so that I could be a mature adult and meet the world on its own terms. That's right. And that's why this training program is usually a fairly slow process. He says, you know, why is it usually a fairly slow process in learning how to give up your own judgment? Okay? Because it says, not because it's difficult to give up your own judgment. It's not difficult at all. You could go, what do I know? You know, and ask your higher self, what does this mean? What should I do? Okay? It says it's usually a fairly slow process because we interpret it as personally insulting to be asked to give up our own judgment. That's personally insulting to us. And that's why it's difficult, usually. That's why it's usually a slow process. Okay, this training program. Remember, for most people, the training program that we're talking about here is usually a fairly slow training process. Why? Because of exactly what it's telling us. It's training us how to not make decisions by ourselves. It's training us how to give up our judgment. It's training us how to allow our previous relationship grievances to be corrected. And those are all things that we have been, that's our whole belief system, that's what we've been basing our sense of self and our sense of power on for our whole lifetime. And so, according to this, for most people, that doesn't happen real fast. So, if you notice that this process of training, of learning how to give up judgment seems to be going very slowly, or this process of allowing your past relationship grievances to be healed is going kind of slow, then just tell yourself, I'm normal. That's normal. That's usually the way it is. But you can also tell yourself that it doesn't have to be that way. Okay. And this is telling you how to speed up this training program. Now, why would you want to speed up the training program, where you become fully and completely a mature teacher of love and truth in the world? Why would you want to accomplish that and move through this training program faster rather than slower? The reason being is because when you get through this training program that you are in to become a teacher of love, at the end of this training program, your life fully reflects your new purpose as a teacher of love. So now you have a life that reflects love, and the abundance of love and the joy of love. And that's what we're going for here. So the reward, the results of allowing yourself to move through the training program to become a teacher of love is that you have a life that's really loving. And Course in Miracles defines love. It says love is also happiness. Love is also peace. Love is also joy. Love is also abundance. Okay? So when you're talking about having a life that now reflects your new purpose of being a teacher of love, you're talking about having a life that is total opposite of the life you used to have, where you're just trying to get as much as you can, as fast as you could. And now you have a life that now where everywhere you go, it's mirroring your loving purpose. So now wherever you go, you're supported, you're protected, you're provided for. Wherever you go, now the whole world, your whole life responds to you as if you are somebody who's there to help instead of somebody who's there to take. And that's the kind of life that we all want and we all deserve, and that's the kind of life that's available to us when we change our global purpose and our personal purpose from one of taking to one of giving, to one of love. Okay? And as soon as we make that decision, like you said, immediately you go into the training program to become what your purpose has now become. All right. Beautiful. So that is, and that's the end of that section. All right. Beautiful. So now we've heard about this training program, and we've heard about what these changes mean. And we've also heard how to respond to these changes in such a way that we learn, that we get the gift and the training that's coming through these changes, and that we move through these changes sooner than later, and also very gracefully. Okay? And we've heard what are the purpose of these changes? The purpose of these changes is to train us to give up our own judgment. Okay, that's what it's all for, to give up your own judgment. And that's what the whole training program is for. Okay. So the training program is going to do these things. I'll just recap. The training program that these changes are facilitating, the training program that these changes are coming from, is first of all to have a change to help us to allow as many previous perceptual mistakes as possible to be corrected, in particular our relationship mistakes, our relationship perceptual mistakes. In other words, all dark cornerstones of unforgiveness to be removed. That's the first thing about the training program, okay? Which clears out the old belief system so that the new belief system can come on in. New belief system is what? That love will get me more than I want. I mean, love will get me what I want, not attack. Now, then the next one, the next purpose of the training program is to teach you not to make your own decisions, to not make decisions by yourself, but instead to ask your teacher for your teacher's answer, and then you follow your teacher's guide for action. That was the next part of the training program. And the next one is, the next purpose of the training program is to help you to give up your judgment. It's probably the most difficult part, not because it's difficult to give up your judgment, it's just we perceive it as personally insulting. And it says that, and then ultimately, the giving up of your judgment actually leads you to real happiness. Okay? And what's real happiness? Real happiness is lasting happiness. And what's lasting happiness? Lasting happiness is a happiness and a joy that expands and increases from day to day, okay? Instead of the opposite, a joy or a pleasure that just diminishes from day to day. In the workbook lesson today, it was saying that our inheritance from our Creator is a happiness that only expands, that only increases. That is what our inheritance is from our Creator. Okay? And that is already given. That is 100% available right now. The only thing that is preventing us from experiencing this kind of happiness that only increases and only expands is our judgments, is our belief that we know enough to judge. Okay? And the other thing that's blocking the awareness of the happiness that only increases and expands is those old relationship grievances. Okay? Because those judgments and those grievances are making us believe that we don't deserve happiness that only expands, that only increases. Okay? And so as soon as we drop those judgments, we learn to relinquish those judgments, and as soon as we learn to forgive those old relationship grievances, those cornerstones of unforgiveness, then we will realize happily that, oh, that is love's will for us, that is God's will for everyone, which means it's totally available right now. Wonderful. And I believe I deserve it. Why? Because I'm giving only love. That's the value of changing your purpose from taking to giving love. When it's your purpose to give love and you're willing to learn how to do that more consistently, then now more consistently you will actually believe that you deserve it. You can't give hate, you can't give love and grievances and still believe you deserve only love. That's impossible. Okay? So if you notice that you're not experiencing love or joy or support, there's a very good chance that it's not that it's not being offered. It's not that love isn't around you. It's that you don't believe you deserve it because you're not giving it. Like the Course in Miracles says, the only thing that's lacking in any situation or relationship is what you haven't given it. So wherever it is in your life right now where you're feeling deprived of something that you want but don't have, try something different and decide to give love. Decide to give the love or support that you feel that you're not receiving. And maybe it doesn't matter who you give it to, just give that which you feel you're being deprived of, and then see what happens after that. All right, so that was the end of the section. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do announcements, and then I'm going to do an integration meditation where we take the ideas and use them. All right, so announcements are this. Greg and I do 2 Course in Miracles, Relationship Course in Miracles classes a week, and it's called Transforming Relationships Through a Course in Miracles. And we do that on Sundays and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And in that class, we let Spirit choose for us where in A Course in Miracles we go, and then whatever section that is, we apply it to our relationships in front of you so that you can learn with us how to really use these principles in our relationships. So that we can have the holy relationship, which is the relationship that only increases in love and joy and abundance. Imagine that. So that's what Greg and I do Tuesdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. And like this class, Mondays, 7 p.m., Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And also, if you would like to see more of mine and Greg's classes or my classes, you can see years worth of classes for free on my YouTube channel. So, if you want to see more classes in a more organized way, easy way, go to my YouTube channel. That's Anna Kujawa. You see how my name is spelled up there in the Facebook thing, whatever that is. Beautiful. Also, I'm a holistic psychotherapist, and I have a psychotherapeutic practice called Miracle Psychotherapeutics. And so what it is it's a psychotherapy practice where I offer traditional therapy for those who want that, but for those who would like psychotherapeutic support, but from a Course in Miracles perspective, I offer that to those who could really use that. I myself, if I was going to do therapy, I would want to do it with somebody who studied these principles and who was interpreting what I was going through these principles. So if you know somebody or you are somebody who would like some support for going through some changes that you're going through right now, then just message me on Messenger or go to my website, annakujawa.com, and find my phone number, and I think it's on the services we offer page, and text me. The best way to reach me always is to text me. Text. Okay? And if you are somebody who has emailed me or called me and left a message, and I didn't respond, try texting me. That's always the best way to reach me. Okay? Beautiful. All right. So now we're going to do the integration meditation, where we take these ideas and we're gonna use them. All right. So close your eyes and take a breath. Just breathe and feel. So, I want you to bring to your awareness a situation or a relationship right now in your life where you're going through a lot of changes. And take note of how you feel about these changes. Do you feel uncertain? Do you feel afraid? Do you feel defensive? Do you feel confused about all the changes that are happening in your relationship? And just take a breath. Now I want you to tell yourself, all these changes are helpful, even if I don't understand how. Beautiful. And now I want you to ask yourself, what do I want to come of all these changes? What do I want to come of these changes? Beautiful. And now I want you to affirm your new purpose as a newly made teacher of love. I want you to affirm your new purpose as a teacher of love, saying, my only purpose is to be truly helpful. With everything that's going on, in every relationship that I have, everything that's happening, my only purpose is to be truly helpful.
It's easy to tell what's in our mind.
Yes, exactly. And now I want you to say to yourself, I don't have to worry about what to say or do, because my teacher will direct me. And I want you to ask your teacher, teacher, what do these changes mean? And what would you have me do? Teacher, voice for love and truth within me, my higher self. What do all these changes mean? And what would you have me do? And then decide to let your teacher's guidance be your guide for action. In other words, don't take action until you've heard your teacher. And remember, your teacher is not limited in its ability to communicate with you. So don't believe that just because you typically don't hear a voice guiding you, that limits your teacher in any way, shape, or form in its ability to guide you. Your teacher knows what symbols to show you to guide you. And take a breath, breathe. Beautiful. And now, in this situation or relationship that you're going through a lot of changes in, I want you to look at what your judgments, what your interpretations have been about what's going on. Just do a brief inventory of your judgments of what these changes mean and what should be happening and who's to blame or how to escape. Beautiful. And then just do a brief inventory of the results of your judgment in this situation or relationship. Has it brought you peace? Has it brought you joy? Has it brought you certainty? Okay. And now I want you to decide that you don't want your judgments of what's going on and what you should do. I want you to decide to relinquish your judgments of what's going on, what it means, and what to do. Say to yourself, I hereby now resign as my own teacher. I hereby relinquish all my judgments and interpretations of what everything means here and what I should do. I relinquish my judgments in this situation or relationship. Saying to yourself, I don't know what anything means because I don't know what I am, which means I don't know what should be happening. I don't understand anything I see. Beautiful. And now your mind is open to hear the voice of your teacher, who will direct you only in the paths to peace. So breathe and listen. Thanking your higher self, thanking your teacher for always responding to your call. Thank your teacher for never abandoning you, even when you would abandon it and decide things yourself. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher. And then last but not least, I want you to hear and feel your teacher thanking you for your willingness to take your part among the healers of the world. You have no idea the profound gratitude that God, your teacher, and all the helpers of humanity have for you. You have no idea how deep their gratitude to you is for your decision to be helpful, to be only helpful to others, to humanity at this time. So for a moment, I want you to see if you can hear Spirit's gratitude to you and feel your teacher's gratitude to you. And see if you can let your teacher's gratitude to you fill your heart and flood your body with the purpose of forgiveness. wonderful. Wonderful joining with you guys in this way and sharing healing time. Sharing A Course in Miracles with you is my happiest experience, and I'm so grateful that you have used your very precious time and energy to join this healing circle. If you would like to support this Miracles ministry, there's many ways you can do that. One of them, for free, is just to post this class on your YouTube feed. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can support this ministry by hitting the like and share and subscribe button. That's another way. If you would like to support this ministry with a financial expression of appreciation, then you can do so by Zelle, PayPal, and Venmo by just using my name or my email, annakujawa1@gmail.com. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate that more than you can say. It helps me and Greg to stay encouraged and to stay consistent, despite all the defenses that our egos come up with against sharing the truth with you. I appreciate you more than I can say, and we'll see you next class.